Hi, Henk Akkermans here, Supply Chain Dynamics Chapter 8, Clip 6, the effect of a late first delivery date. Although the main topic of this paper is, of this chapter is not on sales and reliable forecasting, it is on concurrency. Still interesting to look at what would have happened if the first scheduled delivery delay would have not been so very optimistically set by sales in the beginning, 6 years in advance, probably at a time when they were not at all certain that they would be around by the time that the first planes would have to be delivered. And we can play with this in the model. I've already shown you this is the first version of the model, the first run. Now let's see what would happen if we delay that a little bit. For that we have to switch, not to switch customer change, but we can have a standard time here of 72. Suppose that we make that into 84 now, 1 year later. What you see here in sales is that basically the sales curve continues. You get more customers, and why? Well, because at a later stage it actually becomes clear that, which is around at this point, this inflection point, that the program's going to be late. So you hail in more orders, as if to say. And if you do that for another year, say another 12 months, so 96 months, that effect is even stronger. You see the customer backlog growing and growing as the sales. But up here, we still, sooner or later, we have to face the fact that we are late. But of course, because you are late, this also gives you time to start your production a bit later. Let's see what else we find in the model. There's not a lot of change in this engineering and the completion of all that. Production does also not start so very much later. But if you look at aircraft delivered, then you see we could make this set at indeed something like this. That's too much. We could set this at something between 100 and 240, and then you see that setting it 1 year later would actually get you, paradoxically, but it's going slow to go fast, more sales. And why? Well, for a number of reasons, but a lot of this has to do with production. Production then doesn't have to start so very quickly. You can have higher quality in tooling, etc. If you start 2 years late, then actually the output will be less. There is also more, and because the output is less and the development man years remain the same, the development man years per unit sold is higher. The same story goes for manufacturing man years. Design quality doesn't change in all of this. Feasible manufacturing rate hardly at all. So you see that that's not the big change. So the main trade-off is between starting later and as a result of that, having a longer period in which customers remain optimistic versus starting later as a result of this, starting production later, which then leads to fewer aircraft sold. Okay, just a side point for this chapter, but something worth thinking about when you remark.